Morning, afternoon, Trainiacs. It's 3:45, day before ladies' race day. It's been a busy day. Ben Kanute, meetup. Actually, it might not be a busy day. I don't know what we're doing. Check back in a second. Yeah, so Trainiacs. This is home. This little compound here. So yeah, I was a little flustered there earlier. I couldn't remember what happened today because every one of these days, total whirlwind. We started off with a Trainiac meetup with Ventum. Two things come from that. Number one, thanks to all of Ventum. They don't pay me to say good things about the Ventum bike whatsoever. I've just really grown to like and respect that company because they're always solid to me and I like their bike. Go back to video that I did in Kona about like why there's none of this chatter and crosswinds and when cars pass you and why I like their bike. And I like the people better. So every time we come to one of these, I need a place to do a meetup. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll bring the bike. People will get to see the bike, and then we'll get to hang out with the Ventum people. We'll get to hang out with some new friends. And I know what I was trying to say the other day when I was all mumbly. I feel pressure to live up to your expectations of whatever they might be when you meet me because I don't want to demotivate you in whatever. I mean, you all follow me because I assume that part of it is motivation, so I don't want it to wane by meeting me. So I feel pressure to do that, and I hope that I live up to all your expectations. And then fun thing about today, we did a podcast with Ben Knut. Ben is the runner-up from last year at the Half-Ironman Worlds in Chattanooga, and when he did that, it was a big surprise, even to him. He was looking for like a top 10. Something that he said in that podcast that we did today was he feels like to keep progressing as he was going through the ITU Olympic track development system on his way to Rio, he needed, like, he said breakout race or breakthrough races. And he was like, well, that's not really it, but you need a race where you kind of go a little bit over and above what you think you're capable of. And that gives you the confidence to go on. So that to me tells me how mental stuff like this is. That when you go into races like this, you've got to be mentally calm, not jacked up, not burning through your adrenaline right away. And you need to be mentally, I think, prepared to suffer. Something that I've been doing this week is to help myself get to sleep. I've been actually visualizing turning my legs over quickly on the run when they're in pain. And I think that mind-body connection, let's see if we can have a Ben Kanute-like performance. Like not second, but just a bit of a breakout. Here's little bits from the day. Now, I've got my stuff laid out. I'm going to show you that in a second. Ben Kanute, the defending runner-up from last year. How you doing? Thanks for being on the show.
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Are you pumped up here? We're doing 60 seconds of Would You Rather.
Let's do it.
You've got a look of fear on your face right now.
A little bit. Would you rather?
All right. You ready on the clock, Mel?
Ready.
Okay. Number one, would you rather have Lucy Charles swim or Daniela Reef's bike skills?
Daniela Reef's bike skills.
Would you rather cramp on the run or barf in the swim?
Barf in the swim.
Would you rather have free bikes or free flights to races for life?
Flights for life.
Would you rather wake up to an alarm clock with Mike Riley telling you you're an Ironman every morning or get a letter from Andrew Messick accepting you to Kona every afternoon?
The alarm clock.
During the run, would you rather get blisters on your feet so bad you had to walk or nipple chafing so hard you were bleeding in the finisher photo?
Nipple chafing.
Would you rather be able to eat anything you want and never gain a pound or train as much as you like and never get injured?
Eat anything I like.
Would you rather have to wear a Speedo for the entirety of every race for life or wear a giant temporary M. tattoo on each cheek during all races for life?
Speedo.
Would you rather have a pebble in your shoe during the run or a second-degree sunburn for 2 weeks after a race?
Sunburn.
Would you rather be delayed flying so badly you missed Kona or get the middle seat in economy for life?
How many times do I miss Kona?
Just once.
Middle seat for life? I want to say miss Kona.
Miss Kona, I agree. That's got to be 60 seconds.
Yeah, I stopped watching.
I stopped watching. They were good.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, I think this is a really cool place to start. Basically where you started in endurance racing is a story about watching your dad race one of his races when you were 7 years old. Can you tell me that story?
Yeah, so triathlon has been a part of my life pretty much as long as I can remember. So I always start off with one of my earliest memories is watching my dad race at the time the Mrs. T's triathlon, which is the Chicago Tri now. So that's that's kind of back in the day. I think it was mid-90s. And I watched him ride his bike by on like Lower Wacker Drive and grew up a bit in transition areas. So I remember going to like the Lake Geneva Triathlon. It would be much more heartbreaking if it was within the last mile or something. But I mean, Javi really had to, it looked like he had to dig, and he took a big chunk of time out of me there. So it was more like, okay, he got me here. That's fine. Let's like reset. I was feeling better at that point. So tried to just limit the damage and use him a little bit to hold those guys who were charging from behind off for more time. It's just trying to be your best person, and we look like I try and go out and I try and like be the best triathlete on race day and try and race the fastest that I can. But and a lot of times I think people fall into the trap of just looking at one thing that kind of defines them, or they put a lot of stock in their racing. And for me, there's a lot more than triathlon as well. Like I take it very seriously, and I take my training and racing very seriously, but I like to give back too. Like I think that just
kids programs and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and I think it's important to not only give back to the sport because it's been so good to me and the people in it, but give back to the community and on a day-to-day basis. Be a good person, be a good man, make the right choices, stand up for the little guy, kind of do all of that stuff.
So that Ben Kanute guy, really cool. Big fan of the podcast. Go check out the Triathlon Taren podcast. It just so happens to be the most highly ranked triathlon podcast in the world on iTunes, and it's because of good interviews like we had with Ben. Let me show you the setup. All right, so starting from over here, I don't yet have the Roka wetsuit. It's here in Port Elizabeth, but not quite delivered to me yet. Apparently, I might get it before an hour from now. So let's see. Now this is the before the race kind of stuff. I'm gonna body glide under the wetsuit. I am going to defog the goggles twice the night before the race. I'm gonna put baby powder in my shoes on the bike in the run. About 15 to 20 minutes before the race starts, I'm gonna take a gel. The morning of the race, I gotta put that timing chip on my left ankle, and I'm gonna probably need that headlamp in all of transition. Of course, we have the Scody custom kit with the zipper that goes all the way up, so if I need to take a pee before the race, I can easily do that. I'm gonna put arm warmers on underneath the wetsuit so that when I get out of the wetsuit, the arm warmers are already on. Then, the setup for the swim is I am going to put the Wahoo chest strap on. I'm going to have the Tower 26 cap on my head, and then the goggles. These are the Roka I believe they're the X1 goggles. I'm going to put that on over top of the Tower 26 cap, and then my race cap on over top of that. Moving on to the bike setup here. We'll get into the whole bike in a bit. But for nutrition, I have 2 packages of watermelon Cliff Blocks that have the extra sodium in them, and 3 of these 90-calorie Verb Energy bars that are salted peanut butter with caffeine. I like me my peanut butter. I like me my caffeine. I am going to put these toe caps on over top of the Shimano shoes that will already be clipped into the bike, so I won't have to do that. The only thing that I'll have to do in T1 is if it's cold, I'm going to put on these gloves so that I'm nice and dexterous and I can unwrap all of this stuff that's going to be stuffed into the back of my jersey before the swim. So all I have to do is get out of the water, take my wetsuit off, run up to my bike, put on my gloves, put on my helmet, which is the Laser Wasp Air Tri. As far as the bike setup goes, you know the setup. Alto disc wheel. I am going disc because the wind seems to be down. Ventum 1 bike with the custom decal on it. We got the 51 Speed Shop elbow cups, the 51 Speed Shop extensions, the Wahoo bolt here. We have the Cobb Ironman 55 saddle with all the, check these out, all the little Ironman emblems in there. And in the integrated 1.6 liter Ventum frame water bottle, I'm going to have more SOS electrolyte powder in there. The coconut flavor. Huge fan. This is new. I didn't know this existed. Love it. And the Shimano Dura-Ace Di2 electronic shifting. Now, right at the moment, I'm having a little bit of problems with the P1 Power Tap power pedals. It's registering super low power of like 60 when it should be 200. So at the moment, I've got the batteries out and we're trying to do a hard reset. And I've said many times, one of the reasons why I like dealing with PowerTap and all the Ceres people is because of their customer service. Well, I emailed them just right now at the end of the day on Friday. Business day is over, and they've already put me in touch with their South African dealer who is overnight sending a new pair of these to me. And I've heard of stories like that with PowerTap several times, not just from them, but like they're just good with people. So it isn't just me. Then we get on to the run. Over on the run, we are doing the Nike Zoom Flies. I'm going to try to capture some running power data with the Stride Power Pod on the left foot. Got the elastic laces. Tip from Danielle Dingman is I'm going to Vaseline the bejesus out of these shoes and hopefully avoid a lot of those calluses and blisters that I experienced in Coeur d'Alene. Coming out of T2, we're going to hit some pickle juice, which apparently resets a lot of your like your neuromuscular system because it's so strong and has so much sodium that this helps avoid cramping. In the first half hour or so, maybe 45 minutes, I'm going to try to down some of these blocks, more Cliff Blocks, and throughout, starting about a half hour in, this here is all SOS Rehydrate powder. And I'm going to just kind of sip on that and take it just as dry powder as I'm in the race to get my sodium. And then I'll take Coke in the last hour or so as my calories. Got the race bib, follow 1825, and I'm gonna have a backwards Roca visor just to keep the sweat out of my eyes, and some Pit Viper shades. So there you go, Trainiacs. If you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button below because starting tomorrow, we've got 2 days of coverage of the women's race and the men's race in the Half-Ironman World Championships 2018 in South Africa, Port Elizabeth, where yours truly is covering as media and racing. It's going to be quite the logistical feat. Wish me luck. And if you are already subscribed, and especially if you came and met me today, thank you.